Okay, so that's the thoracic spine. Let's say you're working on that, on that extension. Let's talk about the actual shoulder joint. And so we're gonna work and progress things up to things that may be a little easier to things that may be a little more challenging. So especially if you have pain, this is gonna be helpful as well. So working your shoulder through its range of motion while you're bearing weight can be very helpful for people to be able to get into positions that they weren't able to get into before. So something like quadruped, for example, very similar to what I just did on the bench. I can get my hands right underneath my shoulders and then stick my butt back and really sink down. But if you look at the angle of my shoulder, if I were to come up, I'm basically in full flexion. And for some people, they can't get into that position when they lift it up, but they can get into it when they're down here like this. So something when you're in weight bearing can be helpful. You can leverage something like a supportive surface as well. So you could use a door frame. I could use this rig, for example, where I can use that support and go up as high as I can and really get a good stretch here. And for a lot of people, a doorway stretch where they're able to use that to go all the way up, they're gonna be able to get a lot of good range of motion in a way that's pretty safe and not be necessarily painful for them. So this could be a great option as well. So weight bearing on the ground, also on a rig or a door frame. And then one of our favorite tools is a PVC pipe. So this is about, an inch diameter. Typically these are cut to 4 or 5 feet. Very cheap option. You could also use a broomstick. The thing with the broomstick though is that it may be a little bit short for you. So something longer like a PVC pipe is gonna make some of these activities a little better. All right, so if you have a broomstick or PVC pipe, you can do this with me, but we're gonna start with going up and over. All right, so I'm going to keep my elbows as straight as I can. All right, I'm gonna start with a really wide grip. I'm gonna stay nice and straight right through my body, and I'm going to let that bar come up and back all the way down. The first few are always really tough, and then they get a little easier. But if you need to bend your elbows, that's perfectly fine. And so you can do something like this, where you have to bend and then come down. If you can't go all the way down, that's fine too. Just go down as far as you can. And so if you watch my shoulder here, I'm going through a very large range of motion, and I'm supported with this PVC pipe, and you can really get a good stretch with your shoulder there. Another one is around the worlds. So this is where you would have the same grip. All right, and the goal with this one is you want to keep the PVC pipe very close to your body. So I'm going to keep it close to my body where it's brushing my body. I'm going all the way around. Nice and close, and you can switch directions as well. This is going to be a very helpful one to do. Especially, the PVC pipe is especially helpful for those that may have an issue with just one shoulder versus both shoulders, because you can have the help of the other shoulder to get you through that range of motion. All right, so another good stretch that you can do works on some of the rotation of your shoulder. And so this is where you can take that stick, take the elbow, your right elbow on the inside of that stick, and your hand goes on the outside. All right, so you're like this. And then you can take your left hand down like this and use it as a leverage point to be able to rotate that shoulder. All right? Now, from here, I'm kind of at that end range of motion. I can't go any further. I can go up and down, and you really feel this on the back of your shoulder. This is a really good stretch. It really helps with your rotation of that shoulder. Just going up and down, and you'll feel this kind of get easier and easier the more you do it. But it'd be great to do this, just for 60 seconds or so. So let's do the other side too. So if the left elbow's on the inside, hand goes on the outside, and you hold it down here and get to that range of motion, and then go up and down. Good. All right, and then last, once you kind of warm everything up, you can just do some simple pressing. But there's a few things that you want to think about with the pressing. You want to pretend like there's a glass pane right in front of you, okay? Like you're standing right in front of a wall or a window, and you're going to press this pipe, your hands are just outside of your shoulders, straight up, all right? And think of ducking your head through, and you're pushing straight up. What you don't want to do is just be soft and relaxed in your body to where you end up just kind of leaning back and pushing up. Try and keep everything straight and solid and pressing straight up. And now what we do here at Stronger Life in the gym is once those shoulders are nice and loose, we start to load that movement up to help you build your strength in that particular range of motion.